Hello everybody and welcome back to Novice Nightmare Plays Oxygen Not Included. In this episode I'm trying to get slime fixed and kind of get mushrooms up as a food source for our duplicants, which is causing me a few problems more than I'd like, but we might get it done. We're actually a little bit low on food because I cranked the thermoacetune over here. I cranked it up a little bit too high earlier, which caused us some problems. Including cracking the pipe, so you can see there the remains of everything that I've used to get back in there and try and fix that problem. But it's pretty much fixed for now. Yeah, I put this down to 5, which was a bad thing to do because it just meant that the water froze in the pipes. But I've learned my lesson, mostly. Okay, we have some starvation, which I'm not a big fan of. I think that's because you can't get in a suit that has oxygen in it, can you? Yeah, that was a big mistake because I kind of jeopardized our food supply there. Thankfully these will throw out quite a lot of food once they're finally done, which is still a few cycles out maybe. And we have a few on the kind of growing here, a few mealwood, so hopefully it'll be okay. I might just kill off one Draco just to make sure that there is food actually available. But yeah, so other than that, I am going to... Oh, that all condensed at once. I'm going to try and get this full of carbon dioxide, and then I'm going to... well, try and automate the whole process. And also, we're going to recruit some cooks as part of this to try and cook it to fried mushroom. So, I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so we had a very, very close call with May, almost starved on us. Because we didn't have enough oxygen going to the atmo suits. So we have 22 dupes and we're only producing 20 dupes worth of oxygen, but that should be fixed now. I threw in another self-powered oxygen maker and that should be pretty much solved. It's only supplying the first 5 suits, which tend to be the ones that get drained the most often and the quickest. Dupes will tend to take the furthest forward atmo suit out of the docks. So you'll see this first one should go, yeah, and then this one. Yeah, and so on. So that just means that those are constantly being supplied. Then we have the second one is solely supplying the next few atmosuits, and the last one providing all of the rest of the atmosuits because they don't get as much use. I might reconfigure this slightly once we get more duplicants, but that's 30 docks there, and we have 22 duplicants. The little bit of excess that will happen whenever this overflows will go into pressurizing the base. I should probably set that up for this one actually. So yeah, whenever there's... I just need to play around with this just a little bit. But yeah, that should go to pressurizing the base now. It's a little bit complicated. The piping is far from perfect. But it should do the trick for now. I might run one of these in to pressurize that, the rec room. This might work. I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, that's supplying atmo suits for now. And, I mean, the base isn't depressurizing, so that should be fine. With all that done, I'm slowly converting us to dusk caps within this farm area, but it's a slightly slow process because I don't want to jeopardize our food supply. So I'm doing it row by row and a little bit more slowly. But each row of these is 1.5 times as efficient as the mealwood that came before, so it should be fine. We've also got loads of slime. We're not going to run out in any hurry. And this layer of crude oil, there's 10 kilos of it. It just stops the slime from depressurizing within the containers and trying to create polluted oxygen, which it does whenever there's 1.8 or less kilograms of gas there. So we're just stopping that with a little thin film of oil, which is good. We do keep dipping into food shortage, which isn't the best thing to see. But I think we'll manage it okay. Because we do have plants that are constantly cropping up. And we have so many of them. I think, yeah, we've got plenty of them. So I did figure out previously that you need 7-ish mushroom plants per duplicant. With my current setup, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11 on either side, so 22 per floor. So with 22 duplicants, and we want just over 6, 7 for safety, we're going to want 154 plants. And on 22, 22 per floor means that we're looking at... My mental maths is struggling here. Oh, is it exactly 7 floors? 22 times 7? Yeah. Oh, we want exactly 7. That can't be right. That works out too nicely. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Huh. If that is right, that's quite nice. But we're about to recruit more dupes. We need a cook and probably another farmer. I've respec'd some of the suppliers to make sure everything gets fertilized. Oh, maybe not another farmer, because I do want to automate everything, but we certainly need a cook. And I wouldn't mind having a night owl cook, because then I can supply, or recruit another one who isn't a night owl, and they can run all the time. So yeah, Catalina, welcome to the team. You're going to be a cook. But priority is actually getting an atmosuit training. Okay. You've just messed up our food system. We're probably going to need to demolish the grave site here. It was slightly badly planned. Or at least it's not in the best place right now. I'm just going to shift it up a bit, so if I run that up to here, that was how many across? Yeah. I think it'll demolish the bodies inside, which isn't the best, but it's the thought that counts. And they've been dead for long enough that we're gonna say that they've decomposed, even if they maybe haven't quite. Just so that this isn't a really, really morbid, horrible operation. The bodies might flop out, I really don't know. I haven't done this in quite some time. At least it's getting a slight upgrade. We're changing to aeropods for the decorations. Yeah, I'm curious to see what will happen. Incapacitated? Oh, you were attacked by the poke shell. Ooh, oh no. Slain. I haven't seen that in a long time. I don't think ever, actually. Yikes. Catalina had a very bad time there. Oh, and we just recruited you. Oh, you were just chilling. Whoops. Yeah, you know what? Actually, the priority is to get you in an Atmo suit. So, injured as you are... Oh no, no. That's not gonna work, you're too slow, far too slow. You'll probably starve or something. Yeah, the second they start deconstructing these memorials, I'm curious to see what happens. I don't think bodies are just gonna flop out, but there's always a chance. This is the first one that actually has a body in it, in theory. Okay, no. Does anything flop out? No, just igneous rock. Okay. Well, I mean, they'd served their purpose. It's been quite a while. We'll consider this turning a new leaf. It's been quite a while since the unfortunate accidents that claimed all of those duplicates. Okay. And then we need a new coolant in here, because I still want to push it down to 5 degrees. And obviously I can't do that with water. Oh, I should probably also fill the line a bit better, because I rerouted it to cool the slime as well. That'll work. Okay. It's nice and chill here, and there's not even any localized patches of chill. I suppose that's because I haven't altered the settings in a while. Once that's in, it'll fill this loop a bit better, and we'll finally be able to get rid of the kind of god-awful plumbing situation over here, where it's kind of like counterflowing almost. It's not quite. It's perpendicular. Anyway, I'm going to skip ahead a bit until I kind of get this farm sorted a little bit better. That's looking slightly more reasonable now. We keep dipping into food shortage and then we get a few starvation pings, but I don't think it's going to kill anyone. I certainly hope not. Not with people zipping around like that anyway. We have a little bit of surplus over here, and the more of these mushrooms that we get growing, it takes about 8 cycles for them to properly come online, and then it should kind of stabilize out, so that's not too much of a concern. We're really struggling to pressurize this with CO2. I thought it would just be something that fills up with time, kind of like our store over here and a few other things. But no, I've kind of had to speed it along, and the way I'm doing that is using all of the CO2 that we're creating from our coal generators. So, yeah, that should be a fairly quick process now that I'm kind of coring it out from down here. But yeah, I just wanted to show something here that I noticed. When we were installing the plastic ladders, they get installed and they appear at the temperature that the source material was, so the plastic as it comes out of the press, I suppose, which is about 40 degrees, maybe 45. But you can see here, it's taking a long time to equilibrate with the surroundings, and that's because plastic is an insulator. It has incredibly low thermal conductivity, 0.15, which is lower than most of the solid materials in the game, and in fact, I think it's one of the only ones that is lower than, I could be wrong, 0.024 compared to 0.15. No, it's still higher than oxygen, which means that there is no temp shift plate, which actually acts as an effective insulator, or at least works better than just gas on its own, which is interesting. All of them will accelerate heat transfer to varying degrees, which is weird because no, I'm sure there's exceptions to that, and there's probably ways of doing it, but it does say to accelerate or buffer heat dispersal, and not many of them will buffer, at least not compared to air. Who do we have available? Oh, I'd love to take, you know what, yeah, maybe +7 builder. Although we did want a farmer, but you're destructive. Yeah, let's bring Tavaldo on the team. That'll be helpful. We're building a lot of stuff lately. You can be a builder, secondary, runner. Works for me. But yeah, so we're boosting the population up towards 20. Probably not the best time to take on a new duplicant, I realise. Whoops. Probably should have let this stabilise out first, but we're about to get a new harvest of these, and they're very, very calorific. At about 2,500 each, that'll be, each row is approaching 30,000 calories, so hopefully that'll be okay. Oh, but with 3 starving, I'm gonna consider killing some dupes. No, some critters. Let's see. You're gone. As well as, let's see, some of them are asleep. How bad is our worst person? There's actually a real risk here. Okay, most of them are fine. They're in the 800 range, which means they'll eat in the morning and survive. It'd be really nice if these came on. I think they will overnight. But yeah, we have a little bit of food, so these few starvation pings should go away as we harvest it. It's just very close to the wire. Just the way I've done this, I didn't let a stockpile build up at all, really. Who is the oldest slickster? Should we sacrifice a slickster or 2? No, I think they're okay. They'll survive the night, and then these dusk caps will be ready to go. Or I certainly hope they will. I'm just gonna keep my eye on these folks. 7,000 or 700. Lowest is you. Yeah, that'll be okay, I think. Or at least I hope. Yeah, we don't have many of these online. No seed available. Oh, that's gonna cause us issues as well. On top of everything else. You know what? Let's find some more critters. You're gone. You're gone. Although, do we have other pips? Yeah, I think we do, somewhere on the map. Oh, maybe we don't. Might not want to kill that guy. Oh, we have a few pips down there. Hopefully it'll be okay. How close are you folks getting? 500. Bert is really having a rough time. Oh no. But we are starting to harvest some plants, so maybe this will be okay. Oh, I didn't realize we didn't have enough seeds. You know, I could probably help. Well, I can't really core out. I can't really core out much over here. That's not slime. This is. Would it help at all if I? There's a chance I could dig out some mealwood seeds up here. Not a very high one though. Okay, no starvation pings. Maybe the problem's gone away. Oh, that'll be our. Oh no, it's not these coming on yet. Okay, when they do, it'll be a bit better. Still a rough situation. It's very, very close to the wire. It's not nice late into the game here to have that problem, but I guess when you're switching your food supply, make sure you have a bit of a stockpile built up beforehand. It's definitely a lesson worth learning. We're also delivering mushrooms into this, and this has nowhere to go! Oh, any wonder we're starving. We're putting our food in nothing. Ah. Okay, it'll go there. This is urgent. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was really stupid. I just had my auto sweepers putting it up into these. Oh no, okay. It's not as much of a problem as I thought it was. Any of these loaders though that have dust cap in them, it's just sitting there not doing anything because it has nowhere to go on this line. Oh, and not even everyone can build these. You know what? What has the most? 7, 10. Yeah, for now, they don't hold anything. Yeah, that freed up some food. Okay. Whoops. Oh, that's a critical mistake, not... yeah, don't make that same mistake, please. That was really stupid. So they were just being lifted, as soon as they were harvested, they were lifted by the auto sweepers into the conveyor loaders, and then dropped on the... and then kept in the line, where they actually start to go off. That should be... oh, if they can get to the food. Go eat, yeah, go eat. What are you doing? Meep. Don't do construction supply, just go eat. Oh my gosh. Some of them might actually starve still. Catalina and Meep are the biggest risks because they're not moving very quickly in their exosuits. Because they haven't been trained up properly yet. In fact, I could... yeah, now's not the time, but I'm... the second that Meep gets some food, I'm gonna put them on exosuit training. Where are they on this list so I can... you know what, there's easier ways of finding them. Meep should be at the bottom. There we go. Follow. You're gonna eat. You're on 150 calories. Almost nothing. Just eat where you get. Oh gosh. Eat where you were. Are you gonna starve on the line? I don't know if they can starve with food in their hands. No. Okay. In theory. This is very scary, but in theory, yeah, they can't starve with food in their hand. Okay. Whew. Gotta go down and grab more now. And you dropped like 0 point something micrograms. Oh, because the toilet became available? That's really weird. But you're gonna go and get more now. Yeah, okay. Whew. Yikes. Yeah, and we're not liking how much polluted oxygen is getting thrown out up here. But at least we've got plenty of CO2. We're starting to... we're starting to pressurize the whole thing. Or we're slowly getting there. We've got almost a full line coming in. Well, not really. It's about a quarter full. We're actually getting through that CO2 very quickly. It's weird. Part of the problem is that the CO2 can't flow down here properly. So I'm just trying to mop that up so that it can flow down to our gas pump a bit more easily. I might actually just move it over here. Gas pump. That's the more sensible solution, isn't it? But yeah, this is a bit stressful. I don't think we're in danger of anyone dying now that I've figured out that problem with the lines, but I'll skip ahead a little bit. Actually, before I skip ahead at all, I just saw that the lines are now finished, so some of these auto sweepers should start to pick up food and dump it up here in our... oh, some of them actually got there already. Cool. Although, where did all the CO2 go? That was full a minute ago. That's really weird. Maybe because it was low, but depressurized or something? Something weird has happened there, but anyway, they'll be fine in here, and they'll get eaten so quickly up here that it won't be an issue for a while. But 3 high should be enough, or sorry, 2 high should be enough for a little food pit, I think. Yeah, maybe when that pressurized, it can, what were 3 pockets of CO2 actually got pressed down into 1. Maybe, I really don't know. But the more traffic that gets, the more likely someone is to breathe on it, and that'll give us some more CO2, so that should be fine. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of slime lung down here right now, which isn't the best. Oh well. So... a lot of idle dupes. Why is that? How about we mop some stuff up? Anything that will clean up this place is actually appreciated because it's starting to look a bit messy. With all of the different lines and stuff involved, these farms start to look quite horrendous. There's not much I could do about that. I could run some of these conveyor lines in the walls and stuff, but it's fine. It'll do. It's just about being functional, really. Okay, we need to wait for a few more cycles of dust cap growth and use before we expand that anymore. Partly so that the CO2 can fill up, and partly because we don't have enough seeds. So yeah, I'll go back to here, and I will actually skip ahead a little bit. Oh, it really is the little things that will get you. I had a deodorizer here that had stopped us making a complete kind of airtight seal. Any wonder this wasn't pressurizing properly. That is frustrating. Anyone who spotted that and hates me, yeah, I don't blame you. That was ridiculous. Oh well. Fixed now. I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, no, that hasn't happened anywhere else. That was a mystery to me, but then I started to notice that there were just loads of CO2 down here. And I was like, oh, that's why. But yeah, this should hopefully fix itself now. We were actually getting to the point where we were pumping sour gas in, which wasn't great. So I've turned just this one on again. And the little bit of airflow here should help without that needing to be turned on. Hopefully. It's also helping us pressurize the bottom of the map, interestingly. It's sucking some of the oxygen down, which makes these work overtime. Okay, now that Meep's out of the woods, we can give them exosuit training. Travaldo can start to work towards it as well. Oh, and that can be destroyed. In fact, most of these gas tanks can be destroyed. Just so that I start getting rid of old projects and sort of eyesores. And I should probably take that out of there. There we go. So these do a brilliant job of keeping these all pressurized. It's actually a decent ratio. First 5, and then the next 7, and then the next 18. And it's keeping the base pressurized too. That's a pretty good system. I suppose we're not really testing its capacity though, because we know it can make 30 dupes worth of O2, and it's only trying to do 24. Okay, give me a cook or... oh, there we go. Yeah, you're the best of the bunch. Abe, welcome to the team. You're gonna be a cook at some point in the future. Oh, wait, Catalina was the other cook, right? Yeah. Catalina's oh, every time they get in an Atmo suit, their digging skill goes way up. So I get confused by that sometimes. Yeah, an Atmo suit I think gives plus 10 digging, which is crazy. A little known benefit that it doesn't really advertise when you're making them, I don't think. It only really talks about the fact that they're good insulators. I'm just gonna core some stuff out around the main base. Anyway, I'll jump back to here, and at long last we should probably get this up and running. Where are our seeds? What are we looking at? Fungal spores. How many do we have? 3. Okay. Soon we'll be able to do a new row at least. I'll skip to that. I'm actually going to adjust the view just a little bit, and there we go. We're slowly but surely getting there. I just want to highlight another blunder of mine. Yeah, this doesn't quite look like entirely water, does it? I was replacing the gold amalgam liquid filter down here that was starting to overheat. I replaced it with steel, forgot to set a filter, and it was just running everything into the output pipe, including all the crude oil. Yeah, which wasn't great. So now we have a lot of crude oil in the water tank, which means a little bit of extra filtration. It's not a big problem. This probably won't need to be used for a long time anyway, but, you know, it's just the little things that annoy you. I'm just learning from my mistakes still. Should have been a bit more vigilant for that, but it's fine. I'm just going to expand this water tank quite a bit more. While I'm waiting for us to... we're basically just waiting for us to build up a few fungal spores so that we can actually expand this upwards. But yeah, we're out of the woods with regard to starvation now. Then we want a new coolant. So I think the next job is going to be space, actually. I want to make sure we have enough power. I want to harness a volcano, and then we'll go... well, no. 2 side projects. I want to harness a volcano for power. I'll probably use this one. Maybe this one just because it's in the way. I might even just use this hot rock. It would last quite a few cycles. Something like that for power would be nice. And then I also want to work out infinite slime, which isn't impossible. I have an idea for a kind of a contraption that should do it, and I'm not sure it's a contraption that someone else has made yet, so that could be interesting. It basically is going to harness the fact that this bubbles, see there? It's going to harness that fact to produce polluted oxygen from polluted water, and we have lots of polluted water because we have water geysers and carbon dioxide, which means that we can just combine those two in a carbon skimmer to give polluted water, and then we'll have tons of polluted water. And I don't think the bubbling is very, very minimal. It only throws out a few grams, but I think on a large scale with a lot of surface area, that might kind of add up to a bit more. We'll certainly find out anyway. That's a device I really want to give a try. And then we'll feed that to puffs, and they'll kick out some slime for us, which is good. Each of these takes 4,000 grams a cycle, so it'd have to be a fairly robust system. I really don't know. I think if you try to induce a vacuum over like polluted water like this, you might actually be able to draw quite a lot of polluted oxygen out of it. I really don't know. Only one way to find out, I suppose. But yeah, we keep dipping into food shortage, but we're mostly safe for starvations now. I think we're working towards surplus. So yeah, I'll check back in just a bit. I've decided for my own entertainment's sake, because this is taking quite a while to properly spin up. For my own entertainment's sake, I'm going to see how much of the rest of the map, the useless parts, I can zap and just kind of core out before the thing gets up and running. So, let's start with this one, shall we? Oh, it's looking a bit nicer now. I'm still queuing up a few sweeper errands. And this is looking slightly better. I used Oni Assistant, which is the really handy calculator that exists for some stuff, including food, and I realized that to feed 30 dupes, I need 8 floors. 8 floors with the current arrangement of mushrooms, which is almost what we've got. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then when we populate this, it'll be 4 as well. So yeah, we'll have 8 floors without too much trouble, which is nice to see. So I'm going to switch this, I'm going to turn this high pressure gas vent off, because we've actually pressurized the entire place with plenty of CO2. In fact, it's kind of getting up to the, it's higher pressure than the oxygen outside, so it'll start to bubble up through there, which isn't really what I want actually right now. No, I'm going to cut off the power to, oh no, just over here, which is fine. I just want to reroute that slightly differently. In fact, I could do it with a transformer over here. Or no, I'll just do it just above here. Yeah, I'm just moving all that stuff. I want to throw in another 2 floors just to be safe. Or actually no, just 1. But I want to put in a little bit of a buffer to stop the CO2 pouring out. So I want to put doors here and here instead. Another thing that I've queued up in the background is kitchen over here to convert our new mushrooms into fried mushroom, which is going to be our primary food source, and that should be pretty good. I've also queued up lights which speed that process up, attached duplicate sensors so that they're not always running, heating the place up, and yeah, just wasting power. Not that there's much power loss from them, but I'm all about saving every little bit. There we go, we can get rid of all of that now. And when those walls are in, I don't need to worry much about the CO2 in there anymore. Except I might change the walls to insulated tile. But that's a little bit farther down the line. Another project I'm doing, kind of side project, is I've created a vacuum seal up here. One that should actually be able to resist temperature change a little bit. Because it's a vacuum as opposed to just being a liquid lock. So that I can go in here and pick up this liquid phosphorus. This liquid phosphorus is going to be really useful because I'm going to pick it up and drop it right in the middle of my base. And the reason I'm going to do that is so that I can create natural tiles. Whenever it solidifies, it creates natural tiles. And what pips do is they drop seeds, and they plant seeds for you on natural tiles that exist in their space. So I'm going to turn this into a park. And because of the way the base is arranged, that means that every time someone leaves or enters the base, they pass through parkland, or maybe even a natural, it might even be a nature reserve, and that gives them a massive morale bonus, +6, +3 for a park. So that shouldn't be too hard to do. It's something I've done in the past, although I often do it in this kind of, I do it a little bit trickier, I do it in this access tunnel. But no, I decided this would be a slightly easier way of doing things. It'll slow down their movement through there, but you know what, it'll look nice, and I don't care. So yeah, I'll get that built in a little while. It's just kind of a side project, so I'm not rushing it. But yeah, most of this piping can go. It's not particularly useful to us anymore. Oh, in fact, we want to preserve Oh yeah, no, just that pipe there, because we don't want to kill our slicksters, who are hanging in there. They're not getting a lot of CO2, but they're getting a little bit. Hopefully enough. We've ceased plastic production because this liquid reservoir oh, wait. Below 90? Oh, why is that not turning on? That's weird. Huh, this contains petroleum, but it's not kicking any out. Oh, it needs repaired. Okay. Yeah, there was a problem down there because the liquid reservoir was overheating. So I'm just changing some stuff around down there. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with this, how things are turning out so far. How is this episode looking for length, I wonder? Yeah, it's still a short one, so we can probably get a few more things done. Namely, yeah, fully converting this to slime. So let's... I keep saying slime instead of mushrooms. It's because in the back of my mind I'm trying to remember that I need to improve our slime production from 0 to quite a lot. 4 kilos per plant, and we need about 100 plants. So it's going to be about 400 kilos per cycle. That's a lot of slime. That's a lot of... Oof. I don't know if that's entirely doable, but we'll find out. Otherwise we can switch back to meal lice, and this will all become a little bit redundant, but you know what? It's a learning experience, and that's fine. Fungal spores, yeah, I messed that up. We don't have enough. Anyway, we're cleaning that up, and I'll move on to coring out, I suppose, this in the meantime. Is there anything interesting in here? Not really. Yeah, we'll get all of this gotten rid of, hopefully. That's looking a little bit nicer now. How about we just get it swept up? That's looking a little bit nicer. It's still underway. It's a bit of a big project, and there's a few other things going on the map. I'm gonna move on a little bit with my my other kind of project I was working on, which is getting some liquid phosphorus into our base. Now, because I'm not, you know, a complete maniac, I'm not gonna drop 300-degree phosphorus directly into the entrance to my base. So instead, this is gonna be a two-stage process. First stage is going to be lifting some out of here and dropping it in a kind of, I suppose, a middle pool, which is going to be down here. It needs to be above about 45 degrees so that it doesn't solidify, and this is the perfect place for it. We're finally using this very, very toasty spot, which was causing us a lot of problems before, to our advantage, which is nice. So I'm going to drop in a pitcher pump, and then we're going to fill up this little pool with liquid phosphorus. And it'll be about 80 degrees, which I'm happy to drop into the base without kind of worrying about it. Meanwhile, this is cooling down quite nicely. We're down to 80 degrees down here, and our copper volcano is on again, so this is gonna inject quite a lot of cooling to this area, and at almost the exact same time our gold volcano is on again. So yeah, we're gonna get a lot of cooling up here. It's cooling the gold down nicely too, actually, which is good because it, you know, obviously comes out of here quite hot. So yeah, we're gonna have a nice cold section of the map down here, which will combat some of the chaos over here. Although this isn't as hot as it used to be. It used to be 144. Clearly our efforts are working. I've sealed this off, and I'm insulating it so that this steam geyser eventually heats this place up and hopefully sterilizes it. Although that's not really, that's more of just me trying to figure out if that's what happens, because I don't know. We don't actually need it to do that. We could just core it out, but I'd rather do it this way for now. Okay, why can't someone get in there and build that? That's my question. Oh, somehow dirt has formed. Yeah, there's a reason for that, and I can't remember what it... Oh, it's little, like, blobs of algae getting baked into dirt up here, which isn't great. That should probably not be made of granite. I can't imagine that's a good material for it at that temperature. Ceramic. Oh, 275 actually isn't enough. Oh no, it is. Oh yeah, it's fine. This is all melting as well, which is good. I put it in contact with the other liquid, and it should start to melt. 243. If it gets up to 246, then it'll start to melt. But the temperature in here is not actually too hot. Yeah, over here the transfer is not amazing. It might work. I'm not really that worried about it. I could core out some of this obsidian and it'd jump the temperature a little bit, I think, if I dropped it into the phosphorus. I'll do that here. It doesn't really matter. Eventually, I probably will use this volcano as well for power. There'll be a really, really nice, at least for me, I'll find it quite satisfying, decommissioning, where I set a steam turbine up here, but instead of running the water back in, I just run the water out to a separate pool until this has no more steam in it. Then when it has no more steam, I'll cool the area down, and then finally we'll have a volcano just on its own, and then I can core out all of the stuff around it. But that's for a future episode, I believe. Where were we? We were going to make a pool of phosphorus. So let's not queue that up yet. Let's mop it out so that I don't have to do any... Well, I wouldn't have to filter it anyway because I'm going to be using pitcher pumps. But I just want to get this right because I've messed this up in the past. I managed to mess it up top by letting the pip roam free in the base. So I had to wrangle him and put him back. But we have the seeds we want. Oh, well, we have some of the seeds we want. Buddy bud. Yeah, not that one. Buddy bud. Sweep. Oh, someone was about to do it and then dropped it on the ladder. Oh well. Yeah, two Joya, 2 Buddy Bud. Should look quite nice. And I'm just doing it in sections so that it does actually solidify. I can't remember how much they need. I think it's about 40 kilos. It's not that much, but I'm going to do it in bits just to make sure I get it right. Yeah. Let's move down here and get this pool organized. I'll jump back in once I'm delivering the hot phosphorus, the 80-degree phosphorus. This is already being delivered down here, and it's a much more hospitable temperature. I mean, it's 100 degrees, which isn't great, but it'll cool down a little before we put it in our base. It's a lot more reasonable than 240 degrees. That's a really nice property of phosphorus, actually. I don't think it's true to life that a material will freeze and melt at such different temperatures. I suppose in this case, it's actually changing from phosphorite to phosphorus. That's what happened originally. So I can maybe, I guess, because the properties are changing, that's actually maybe feasible, at least the very first time it changes state. But yeah, bit of a weird one, but I mean, it makes it very useful for our purposes. I hope I get this right, because it's only something I've done once before in one of my bases, so who knows. But yeah, let's get this full up first. Oh, there's a... Yeah, you're not looking very happy, are you? Because there's an egg there. Hang on, I'll solve that as well. Just one other thing that we did that was quite satisfying was dropping all of the water from this slime biome, which is, you know, a nice reasonable temperature, and had actually been cooled by this steam turbine. Yeah, we dropped it down here, and now this is a nice, cozy 70 degrees, which is a big improvement. So yeah, the heat from this oil biome shouldn't cause us many problems anymore. There was an issue up here where the abyssalite is 1 layer thick. But I think the temperature here is actually because some hot obsidian spawned on the wrong side. So that's pretty toasty, but it's fine. It's not quite boiling the poke shells yet. But anyway, yeah, I need to stop delaying. And we'll actually get this process underway. We will get this done eventually, but I just like pointing out some of the weird things that are happening on this map. For example, this is dormant and will be dormant for another 19 cycles. It actually goes dormant before the other gas geyser that we have up here. We have a third one that we've tapped into. Oh, and we've just been piping into space. Whoops, should probably get rid of that. Yeah, we have a third one that we haven't actually started using for power yet. Oh, any wonder there's so much natural gas down here. I'm a fool. I keep forgetting these things. Anyway, as I was saying, this one is about to come on in 1.1 cycles. And look how much gas we have left. The pipes are drained, and it's just this left. Which is probably good for about 1.1 cycles. Which means that the tanks in here are almost perfect to get us from this one's quiet state through again. So that's really cool. Yeah, just a weird little quirk of kind of accident that I thought was nice to point out. Anyway, back to the thing that I've been delaying for a while. Okay, I think with that we have enough. It's starting to actually turn all of the water down here to steam, because it is actually not cooling down particularly effectively. Well, I mean, that's a sign that it is, but it's still pretty hot. But I'm happy to toss that in the base. We have a cooling loop, and it's not gonna kill anyone, I don't think. So what I've done is disabled the pitcher pump up here, just to make sure that we don't deliver anymore. And then I need to install, so I deleted the other one because it was overheating. I need to put a ceramic pitcher pump down here. And then give this just a second to properly cool down a little bit more. Yeah. It should get down to around 100 degrees with all this steam everywhere, conducting heat from everywhere. I'm really annoyed about this. This was really stupid. Shouldn't have let all that natural gas pile up. But at least we know that power is not an issue. We're able to waste that much. I'll probably harvest this because it feels like a waste. But it's not causing any problems right now. As long as it's not, well, it's a bit of a vector for slime lung is the only problem. But it's not that much of an issue. And we have idle dupes. We have people who have nothing to do, which is a bit of a crime. So now that we're not worried about slime lung, we can start to clean up in here. They're gonna cart all the slime should be in these boxes over here. In fact, we're running out of it at an incredible rate. We're down to, we had 69 tons not too long ago, and we're down to 55. So, yeah, we really do need to think. Once we get to around 40, I'm gonna have to seriously consider how we're gonna get more. Although we do have, in an emergency, we can core out that, we can core out the little bits around here, and we can core out that. So it's never gonna be too critical, hopefully. But I need to get that production device up and running. This is such a volcanic area. That's crazy. My gosh. I'll have to think of something creative to do with that. You could probably make a regolith melter, or I don't know, something else. But for now, yeah, I've been kind of all over the place this episode. But we have 14 fungal spores, and with just that little bit of action there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we'll be on 8 floors before too long. Before any time has passed it already. Where is this? What's that storing? Oh, clothes? That's really specific and weird. Why am I storing clothes in there? Oh well. I suppose I had to put them somewhere rather than on the floor. Okay. I'll be back in just a second when this is all finished. Okay, no, I should really do things one thing at a time. So instead, I'm going to queue up some phosphorus delivery up here. I don't want to do too much. I just want 1 bottle's worth. So I'm just going to watch here and watch whoever it is take it up. Now, thankfully, because of the way we've set this up. Okay, 100 degrees is fine. Oh. Yeah, they're auto-bottling. They're lifting it from this pitcher pump and putting it in this bottle emptier, which doesn't really help us much. Actually might help with heat transfer slightly, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, not what I meant to do. We're trying to put a little bit in here. No, I think it's only 40 kilograms that you need to make a tile. So this should be easy enough to do, in theory. And before long we'll have a nature reserve. Yeah, I'll jump back in whenever this is getting done. And there we go. Liam has just dropped in some pretty toasty phosphorus. Thankfully it's on gold tiles, which means the heat transfer is pretty good. And it shouldn't cause too many problems. It'll spread out quite quick and get mopped up by our cooling system. Yeah, it'll spread out crazy quick. But it should solidify at 44 degrees. Now, that was just, I only wanted the 1 bottle. So we're going to find out if 97 kilos does the trick. It should do, if I'm remembering correctly. So it'll solidify at 42, which, yeah, on golden tile, that's not going to take very long at all. Yeah, they're going to get soggy feet. Whoops. Here we go. So 42.1 and... Oh no, don't be in there! There's a chance we could get the pip trapped in it. Okay, so it's going to go a bit below, maybe down to 40 or so. Ah, nope, it just turned to... Okay, well that's good to know, good to learn. It just turned to... What's the word? Debris, I suppose? Yeah, debris. But the melting point of that is now 44.1, so yeah, that happened to me a few times the first time I tried to get this to work. So 90 something won't cut it. Maybe 200 is what you need. I know that certainly 1 pitcher pump's worth, which is 200, will do the trick. So, a few things I want to do then in light of that. Oh, this is going to make that process a lot slower. Or maybe not. Actually, I will... Yeah, I'll try and do this a bit smarter. We'll do a bunch at once. Whether that's smarter or not, well, we'll find out. So I'm going to put... you know what, I'll just make it all look a bit better. And one other thing I can do... The machine's a bit deafening. One other thing I can do is... If I get a... storage bin and put it there, I can just put that phosphorus that's solidified on us just straight back in here and it'll melt back into the pool, which is good. It means it's not lost forever and it's, yeah, not going to cause us any problems being there. But yeah, phosphorus, consumable ore. Now, weird property of phosphorus. Oh, they've taken it off. It used to say light emitter in its properties, which is really strange. Maybe it does in the database. No, not anymore. I think it used to say light emitter. So that, don't know if they were going to do something with that. Be cool if you could have your duplicants build like fireworks, but I don't think that's quite the style of the game. Well, that's a lie. Of course they could have fireworks, but they must have taken that out since, or maybe I was imagining it. Who knows? Anyway, let's queue these up. How are we for time? Yeah, about the 45-minute mark. That's not too bad. Yeah, with all these built, I'll be able to get this done in about two goes. I'm gonna sweep up all that. And in this down here, we're gonna put consumable ore, phosphorus. Whoops, phosphorus. And that should be done pretty quick. And then when we change all these auto bottlers up here to phosphorus, it'll all get delivered in here. And 200 should do the trick, so I'm not too worried that this isn't going to work. I'm a little bit, but not too bad. Now the one annoying thing that will annoy... you know what? No, there's a way I can do this. The one thing that would annoy me about this is that the plants aren't going to be evenly spread out. But I could do blank 1, blank 2, blank 1, blank 2... Oh, my inner slight perfectionist is coming out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You know what? We'll just do it in these 4 I don't... You know what? I don't care. We can have a little bit of randomness. It's a nature reserve. It's not meant to look like a farm. This'll be fine. So we're gonna drop in a bunch of phosphorus. 200 kilos. That should... Oh, that even melted the stuff below it. So that'll certainly work. You might have seen that. Oh, now we have less than 200. Weird. Okay, I don't know what happened there. Mysterious. But that's gonna drop quickly. Although not as quickly as before, because it's actually quite hot here now. Anyway, it'll get down to 40-ish. Oh, this can turn off. Yeah, I need to not forget about that. I just want to make sure this works in principle still, because it'd be a shame if it doesn't. And copy those settings to there. How's it looking? 41. Yeah, I really don't want the pip to just... Oh, there we go! Woo! Okay. Oh, that was remarkably quick. He didn't miss an opportunity there at all. Straight on it. Okay, he saw natural tile and decided that it was time to plant. Cool. Well, there we go. So it's not quite a park yet, because we'll need a park sign. But if you see there, I keep pointing at the screen. You can see we have 1 plant, which is good to see. Oh, that looks really nice, actually. Yeah, I'm quite a fan of that. Anyway, yeah, there we go. I mean, the beginner steps in how you actually plant a nature reserve within your base. Rock crusher, yeah. Okay, how's everything else looking on the base? The pipes keep cracking and I don't know why. I think it's actually turning to steam. I can't imagine it's freezing in any hurry with the current setup, but you never know. I can probably take that out, can't I? Yeah, this is looking really nice. We have a nice stable map, especially now that food has been a little bit more taken care of. A little bit. Let's get power to the lead, yeah. Let's get power to these. Now because they don't all come on at once, we can afford to have the line a bit overstressed. Because yeah, they're not gonna all decide to move stuff at once and then cause the circuit to overload, which is nice. How are we for fungal spore? 11. Okay, that's another row on one side. Yeah, and soon we'll have the entire farm. Now what we don't have is cooks, because I've been getting everyone atmosuit training first. So we don't actually have anyone who can grill these. So for now they're doing a weird thing, which is arriving in the receptacles and then I'm just jumping them up. It's just because I'm lazy and I don't want to have to plumb this line in again, and it doesn't cost much power to do that. So that's how it's operating right now. Oh, and we also insulated the walls of this. Might have said that already. But yeah, just to minimize the work that this is having to do. And save a little bit of power. Oh, this sickens me. That's really annoying. Oh well. And these are finally getting up to temperature where they can survive, because we cooled down a little bit too aggressively up here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, if someone could deliver phosphorus in here, that'd be really nice. I'm gonna skip ahead. And there's the second delivery. So it flashes to phosphorus and then remelts. I think that's actually what happened over here, not what I thought happened originally. But yeah, this should work a treat now. And we don't even have the pip in there ready to drown. One thing that I had to do was make sure there's no debris in here, because I didn't want to have a broken looking tile here. I think that's really quite nice. As far as, you know, the aesthetics in this game, which I really like. As far as they go, that's quite nice in there. At least to me. Maybe not everyone thinks the same. Okay, with that done, we have errand. Yeah, Ren is bringing up the next load, and probably to this one as well. Yep. So we'll soon have a little nature reserve. I just need to put in the flag for it then. And leaving these few metal tiles in means that travel in here should be still, you know, reasonably fast. And it also brings the decor up a little bit more. It's gorgeous in here, which is really good to see. That's all going to get delivered, and now the pitcher pumps can go. Now the temperature's it's gonna take a while for this to settle down actually, because of how much we introduced just there. It'll actually take a while to cool down to 40 or so. So I'm gonna do something that might speed it up just a little bit. If I run that line, oh no, yeah, something I've done in the past and really don't want to do again. Don't run your don't run any of your lines, plumbing or anything, through your nature reserve, because then you have to start again. Because obviously it tears up the... That's going to melt. Oh no, that's going to melt. What's it going to melt at? 46? 49? Oh, there's a chance. I'll just have to replant it, it'll be fine. But I really like that being there. Also, it throws out floral scent. It's really nice to see all the duplicants arriving back, taking off their suits and immediately getting the debuff to stress. Buff? Debuff? I've said this before. I can't remember which. Because in this context... Oh, that's too hot. Yeah. In this context, it's removing a bad thing. So I guess that makes it a buff. But the fact that it's removing makes me think it's a debuff. Anyway, that is really not important. Let's get some gold in here. And a park sign. Why am I thinking it's in food? It's probably in decor? Not something that you tend to place a lot. And let's make it pretty. Let's make it out of, you know, we could make it copper, but we'll stay gold. There we go. It's not going to melt actually, which is good. It's taking a while for these to solidify, but they will eventually, we know. We know now. Gives me a chance to, I can probably deconstruct some of this stuff, but I won't yet. The decor is looking a lot nicer up here now that all the plants are alive. It's a bit plain. It's a lot of plants, I know that much, but it does the job. I mean, it's plus 230 in that spot alone, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. And I'll in fact put a lot of gold tiles in here, because if you look in the rooms sandwiched by gold tiles, it's much higher. Yeah, those people probably have really high morale. Well, actually a little bit higher, not really high. Okay, that's solid, so the pip should get the idea pretty soon. And it's not a park yet. Or a nature reserve. Let's get rid of all of that. Yeah, that's... Okay, yeah, the temperature's falling again, which is good. Oh, because we got a blast of cooling from there. Yeah, that'll do it. Oh, there we... Oh, those all flashed at once. Cool. So let's watch the pip, who should get the idea. There we go, planting seed. We're going to get a joya seed in the middle. That'll look nice. There we go. Cool. Oh, this is very satisfying. So we should have a park now. Yes. Oh, this is so good. I can't wait for the first run of duplicants to come through here. There we go, park. So You'll see Marie, if I can catch her. There we go. Marie's morale. You see Park, fourth one down, is +3, which is excellent. It's not the best. It'll be a lot better when we get nature reserve, but that's pretty much inevitable, I think. There's a little bit of a rule with how closely they'll plant different things together, but I think we should be okay for this. We've given enough space, and if not, I'll put some phosphorus in here instead, and maybe that'll change. Anyway, I'll spin it up a little bit and spin it forward, and hopefully these will all be planted. And there we go. Our pip has delivered the last seed. Oh, we've got a few too many in here. Oh well, easily fixed. And we have a nature reserve. I just saw the thing go past there. So morale, yeah, second one down, +6 nature reserve, which is excellent. So if I skip forward a little bit to where everyone wakes up and moves through here, yeah, they're all getting a nature reserve bonus. And on top of that, they'll get the little removal of stress from smelling plants, as long as we don't have any allergic dupes, which I'm always cautious not to take on. Sorry, folks. So I can deconstruct that, open the door and free our pip. Free him in that direction before I open this door. And yeah, that's turned out really nicely. So if I check in food, nearly everyone is on over 20 morale now, which is just so good to see. 18, yeah, you haven't woken up yet or something. Yeah, 26. Whew. You had a standard meal. Oh, you're starting to eat some fried mushrooms. Good stuff. Yeah, they're very occasionally getting fried mushrooms because Max, one of our former cooks, I think someone who originally operated the microbe musher. Gosh, that was a little while back. How old are you, buddy? 493. Yeah, Max is one of the originals. And Max operated the micro musher way back when, so they have grilling skill. And just to give everyone something to do, I'm queuing up a few sweep errands. You know what, they can sweep. Yeah, they can sweep just about everything. But yeah, that's good to see. There've been quite a lot of oh, that's just running. Auto harvest. Oh, they can't reach that. Never mind. Yeah, this has been a pretty productive episode. I'm pretty happy to call it here. So we've got our kind of golden palace up and running. I'm gonna, you know what, one last thing. Okay, that's a bit more like it, or at least they're putting in the finishing touches. It's not perfect. It's not quite all gold and gold amalgam, but it's very close. I'll get all those doors changed. I might even go in and change the steam turbine just for completeness. But yeah, the gold palace is almost complete. And the decor in there is pretty exceptional. I mean, we don't have pedestals, we don't have some of the ludicrously good decor items, but you know what, I'm pretty happy with this. I think we have a really, really nice base, and with a little bit of expansion, it will hold 30 duplicants happily. In fact, what we'll probably do at that point is give it a purpose-built Rodriguez somewhere up here, and then just mirror it perfectly on this side, which will actually just not quite have enough room to do that, but I'll have dealt with those volcanoes by the time we have 60 duplicants, I should hope. Anyway, that's all I've got time for. I really hope you enjoyed, and please leave a like if you do, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.